Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Betsy. It's time for Sunday school again. I have a story about a man named Jonah and a fish. And I think you probably know this story already. We're actually going to do it twice, and I won't tell you how I'm going to do it the second time because it's a surprise. So God told Jonah to go to Nineveh, but number one, he was afraid of them. And number two, he didn't want them to have a chance to know about God and stop making bad choices. So he ran away. So that's what our story starts with. And there he is. There's Jonah running away, and the sign says Nineveh that way, running from God that way. One day Jonah heard God speaking to him. "Jonah," said God, "listen to me. I want you to go to a city named Nineveh. Tell the people in that city to worship me." "But God," whined Jonah, "I don't want to go to Nineveh." So Jonah decided to run away. He found a ship that was sailing to a city that was far away from Nineveh. In fact, it was clear in the other direction. Jonah got on board the ship, and once he was on the ship, he felt safe. He felt so safe, he went to sleep. But the ship sailed right into a storm. The ship began to rock back and forth on the waves, but Jonah kept sleeping. The rain started to pound the deck of the ship, but Jonah kept sleeping. The sailors were afraid the ship was going to break apart, but Jonah kept sleeping. "Jonah, Jonah," cried the sailors, "wake up. The ship is about to sink. Pray for help. Pray to your God for help." Jonah knew that, I'm going to turn it this way. Jonah knew that the storm was his fault. He told the sailors to throw him into the sea. Now, they didn't really want to do that, but they did it. So the sailors threw him into the sea, and the storm stopped. Jonah went down, down, down into the water. Just then, God sent a very big fish to swallow Jonah. Jonah lived inside the belly of the fish for 3 days. It's probably pretty smelly in there and wet, maybe cold. Didn't sound very pleasant. "God, I'm sorry," prayed Jonah from inside the fish. "I made a bad choice when I tried to run away from you. I promise that I will go to Nineveh and do what you want me to do." The fish spit Jonah out onto the beach. Now, see if this sounds familiar. "Jonah," said God, "listen to me. I want you to go to a city named Nineveh. Tell the people in that city to worship me." This time, Jonah went. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story again. And, and this is going to be really different. I'm going to sing it. Don't tell anybody. Get everything ready here. The Lord sent a message to Jonah. "To Nineveh travel today." But Jonah did not want to go there and ended up running away. Jonah, Jonah, he ended up running away, away. Jonah, Jonah, he ended up running away. He got on a ship bound for Tarsus. The ship sailed into stormy seas. Here's the ship, there's the stormy water. The sailors threw out all the cargo, and Jonah said, "Throw me too, please." Jonah, Jonah, oh Jonah said, "Throw me too, please, oh please." Jonah, Jonah, oh Jonah said, "Throw me too, please." So the ship was rocking, and the sailors were afraid, and they threw Jonah overboard. and the waters became calm, and the ship was okay, and so the ship sailed away. Now Jonah was in a commotion. Now Jonah was in a big crunch. He met a big fish in the ocean and ended up being its lunch. And there he goes. And there he goes inside the fish. Jonah, Jonah, he ended up being its lunch, its lunch. Jonah, Jonah, he ended up being its lunch. He sat in its belly for 3 days and prayed, God, I will take a stand. And when he had promised to do that, the fish spit him out on dry land. There he is on the beach, and the fish swam away. Jonah, Jonah, the fish spit him out on dry land, dry land. Jonah, Jonah, the fish spit him out on dry land. So Jonah didn't listen to God the first time. God wanted him to go to Nineveh, and he didn't want to, and he didn't listen. And he tried to run away, but he couldn't get far. He might have gotten on ships and traveled all over the place, but guess who he couldn't get away from? He couldn't get away from God, because God would know where he was and God would be there too. So we need to remember that God is with us all the time, and sometimes he wants us to do things. It might be, listening to your teacher or your parents at home. He might have a job for you to do with one of your friends. It might be something he wants you to do for your friend. But whatever it is, we need to listen. And instead of saying, I don't want to do that, listen to what God says and think about doing what he wants you to do. So another thing I want you to remember is that this Sunday is Father's Day. So your mom might think of something special for you to do for your dad, or maybe you can think of something yourself. But remember, dads are special. Dads take care of you. Dads work hard. And they're very special in your life. So if you can think of something, or mom can think of something for you to do together, do something special for your dad this week, and be sure to give him a hug. Maybe you don't like to give hugs, but this is a special day. Give Dad a hug and say, Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you. Okay, let's say our prayer. I'll leave the fish there. Dear God, thank you for giving us jobs to do. Help us listen so that when you tell us you want us to do something, instead of saying, God, I don't want to do that, we'll think about it and we'll do what you want us to do. And dear God, thank you for our fathers. Help us make Sunday a special day and help us show us how much we love them. Amen. Okay, boys and girls, I will see you again next week.